Bro, let's talk about the ugly truth. Because I know you've felt it and it burns you from the inside. You see her looking at him the way you wish she looked at you. And you're sitting there wondering, what the hell does he have that I don't? And you hate yourself for even thinking about it. Because you're supposed to be confident. You're supposed to not care. You're supposed to be above all this. But deep down, you feel it. You feel that gap, that space between the way she reacts to him versus the way she reacts to you. And it's like someone just pulled the rug out from under your ego. One second you're joking with her, and she's polite, smiling, maybe even laughing a little. And the next second, he walks in, says something stupid like asking where the bathroom is, and suddenly she's glowing like a Disney princess in a perfume ad. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Is there something wrong with me? And I'm here to tell you, yes, there is, but not in the way you think. See, attraction is not fair, it's not democratic. It doesn't go to the person who deserves it the most. It doesn't hand out points for kindness, loyalty, or effort. It goes to the person who makes her feel something. And that's the part most guys don't get. You're busy trying to be liked while he's busy being felt. You show her how reliable you are. He shows her how alive she feels around him. And that right there is the gap, the attraction gap. Now, before you start spiraling, this isn't about looks, money, status. None of that. Those things help, but they're not the engine. The real engine is energy, presence, tension, the way he takes up space, not physically, but emotionally. The way he walks into a room and doesn't shrink himself down, doesn't scan the environment like he's waiting for permission to belong. He belongs before he even arrives. And that's what she feels. Women don't sit there thinking, oh, he's 6'2" with symmetrical features and a leather jacket. They don't calculate attraction like math. It's not conscious, it's chemical. And when she lights up around him, it's because her nervous system just picked up on his cues. His tone, his ease, his slight unpredictability, the sense that he could lead her into an adventure, or pull her out of her head for once, in her overthinking life. And meanwhile, you're still trying to make sure you don't say anything wrong. That's the gap. And here's the messed up part. You might even be a better man on paper. You treat her better. You text back faster. You'd show up for her if she needed help at 3 a.m. But none of that matters if you're invisible to her nervous system. Attraction isn't a resume. It's not a checklist. It's a spark. And sparks don't care about fairness. You know why he gets her attention. Because he's not chasing her attention. You're performing for approval. He's playing in his own lane. You're trying to be good enough. He already decided he's good enough. And that's what she feels. Confidence isn't a sentence you tell yourself in the mirror. It's a posture your soul takes when you know you're valuable. He doesn't wait for her to validate him. He validates himself by existing. And the universe bends around that. Now, I'm not saying you have to turn into some fake alpha caricature, that's corny. I'm saying you have to stop outsourcing your sense of worth to her reactions. Because the second she becomes your measuring stick, you've already lost. That's when the gap opens. That's when she feels the weight of your need. And need kills attraction faster than bad breath. Let me break it down with psychology for a second. Human beings are wired to respond to emotional contrast. Think about it. Your brain doesn't get excited when things are flat and predictable. It lights up when there's uncertainty. When there's a mix of comfort and tension, safety and danger. That's why roller coasters are thrilling. That's why horror movies make you laugh after you scream. That's why she leans into him. He's a roller coaster. You're a safety manual. And you might be thinking, so what? I'm supposed to play games, pretend to be something I'm not, keep her guessing. Number. That's manipulation. What I'm saying is, stop suffocating her with stability before she's even invested. You're giving her the energy of a husband when she barely knows if she wants to go on a second date. You're giving long-term security in a world where she's still craving spark. That mismatch creates the gap. Listen, women don't fall for who's safest. They fall for who wakes something up inside them. And safety has its time. Safety is sexy once she's already chosen you. Once she's already addicted to the way you make her feel. Once she's already built a little world with you in her mind. That's when safety hits different. That's when consistency becomes attractive. That's when she says things like, I just love how stable he is. But in the beginning, safety without spark is invisible. She doesn't look at a guy and think, wow, he'd never hurt me. I'm so turned on right now. No, in the beginning, she wants to feel. Spark without safety is chaos. Safety without spark is boring. The sweet spot is being able to give her both. The thrill of possibility and the comfort of presence. The sense that she could lose herself with you, but also find herself with you. That balance is rare. That balance is magnetic. That's when she can't look away. And here's where you've been messing up. You confuse being nice with being attractive. You confuse being agreeable with being irresistible. You think nodding your head and saying, yeah, whatever you want, makes you lovable, but it makes you forgettable. Because easy isn't attractive. Easy is cheap. Easy is background noise. Easy doesn't make her heart race. She doesn't need another yes man. She doesn't need another guy who's going to orbit her like a planet around the sun. She needs someone who challenges her without disrespecting her. Someone who makes her laugh, but also makes her think. Someone who brings her into the present moment, instead of letting her spiral in her head about deadlines, insecurities, or what she said to her boss at 3 p.m. Attraction is about interruption. It's about disrupting her usual patterns. And if you're just another polite smile in a world full of polite and smiles, she has no reason to feel you. You think she friend-zoned you because you weren't good enough. But really, she friend-zoned you because you gave her nothing to feel. You gave her safety without spark, predictability without tension, dependability without excitement. And here's the cruel irony. She'll complain about men who don't treat her right, while overlooking the guy who would worship her. And you'll sit there confused, angry, saying, but I'd never heard her. Why doesn't she see it? She doesn't see it because she doesn't feel it. Worship feels nice, but it doesn't light her up. Worship feels good on paper, but it doesn't make her stomach flip. She's addicted to feeling alive, not just being adored. And the truth is, if you worship her before she even chooses you, you're not actually loving her. You're trying to buy her. And she feels the transaction. That's why she runs. That's the attraction gap. It's not about who deserves her, it's about who activates her. And activation is messy, it's unpredictable. It's not something you can fake with lines or tactics. It's who you are and how you move, what energy you bring. It's whether she feels pulled towards you or whether she feels like you're pulling at her sleeve, begging to be picked. And if you're listening to this thinking, damn, that's unfair. Yeah, it is. But so what? Life is unfair. Gravity doesn't care if you're a good person. Attraction doesn't either. You could be the best man in the world, and she'll still look past you if her body doesn't light up in your presence. That's how it works. And the second you stop crying about the rules, you can start playing the game differently. Because the game isn't about chasing her. It's about becoming the man who naturally pulls her in. The man who makes her feel like the world's more vibrant when he's around. The man who makes silence feel electric instead of awkward. The man who makes her heartbeat pick up without even trying. So, how do you close the gap? First, stop trying to impress her. Impress yourself. You're pouring energy into making her clap for you when you don't even clap for yourself. If you're not excited about your own life, why would she be? If you're not lit up by what you do, why would she feel lit up by you? Second, stop making her the center of your identity. She's not your purpose. She's not your therapist. She's not your savior. She's not the main character in your story. She's just a person who either feels you or doesn't. Stop acting like she's oxygen and you're suffocating without her. That desperation leaks through every word, every glance, every text, and it pushes her away. Third, lean into your edges. Stop sanding yourself down to be acceptable. Stop muting your opinions. Stop pretending to like what she likes. Stop erasing yourself just to fit into her world. The quirks, the boldness, the risks, that's what makes you unforgettable. Confidence is not about being the loudest in the room. It's not about fake bravado, flexing on Instagram, or barking at other men like a chihuahua pretending to be a pit bull. Confidence is being unshakable in who you are, whether she notices you or not. It's walking into a room and not asking, do they like me? It's walking into a room and thinking, do I like them? That's the energy that collapses the gap. That's the energy that flips the script. And I'll say this one last thing because some of you need to hear it like a slap in the face. Attraction is not something you negotiate. You can't argue her into wanting you. You can't explain your good qualities until she changes her mind. You can't logic her into feeling desire. Attraction is primitive. It's pre-verbal. It's animal. It lives in her body, not her brain. If she doesn't feel it, she doesn't feel it. And the more you beg for it, the wider that gap becomes. The more you try to convince her, the more she feels the weight of your need. And need doesn't turn her on. Need suffocates her. But when you flip it, when you stop chasing, when you start embodying, when you start living in a way that excites you, challenges you, grounds you, when you actually become someone you respect, when you become someone you'd look up to if you weren't you, suddenly the gap shrinks. Suddenly she notices. Not because you forced her to, not because you trapped her with strategies, but because your energy became undeniable. because your presence became gravity. That's when you see her look at you the way she used to look at him. That's when the game changes. And maybe, just maybe, that's when you realize the point wasn't even her. The point was who you became in the process. Because when you finally become the man who makes the room feel different just by walking in, you'll understand. She doesn't get to decide your value. She doesn't crown you worthy. She just gets to feel it. And if she doesn't, someone else will. That's the secret. That's the shift. That's when the attraction gap disappears. Not because she finally saw you, but because you finally saw yourself. So ask yourself right now, are you going to keep standing on the wrong side of the attraction gap, begging for her to notice? Or are you going to cross it and become the kind of man who doesn't need her to?